All right, boys and girls, today's lesson is lesson 4-5. We're going to discuss comparison problems. Well, to get started right off the bat here, when you're working with addition and subtraction, when you're comparing addition situations, you're comparing a statement or question that has two pieces of information. So you might talk about who has more, who has fewer, how many more, or how many fewer. That tells you addition or subtraction. So I want you to turn to page 137. And on the top of the page, it says, in lesson 4-4, you learned about multiplication, division, comparison situations. You can also compare by using addition and subtraction. You can find how much more or how much less one amount is than another. The amount more or less is called the difference. In some problems, the difference is not given. You have to find it. In other problems, the lesser of the greater amount is not given. So Mai has 9 apples and 12 plums. How many more plums than apples does Mai have? How many fewer apples than plums does Mai have? So you can also draw comparison bars for this. You would draw one bar that's big and wide and shows you 12 plums, and then you would draw another bar underneath it that shows you 9 apples with a little circle that's going to make up the difference. So these comparison bars are helpful because the oval here shows you the difference. Okay, so this can also make you think of our recent lessons we've been doing, because really what you're looking at here is you're looking at 12 equals 9 plus D, right? Because you have 12, and it's actually 9 plus whatever this is. So you could also do 12 equals D plus 9. You could do 9 equals 12 minus D, because really this equals whatever this is minus whatever is in the oval. You could also do D equals 12 minus 9. Okay, and as we can keep going, because we understand this, you could just flip all of these. So what you could do is you could do 9 plus D equals 12, and D plus 9 equals 12. Not flip everything, just flip the answer to the from the beginning to the end. 12 minus D equals 9, and 12 minus 9 equals D. Now when we do multiplication and division comparisons, the bigger number is always on the left side of the division sign. Well, when you do subtraction and multiplication or subtraction addition, at least in 4th grade, the bigger number has to be to the left of the subtraction sign. So this is where it's very similar to division, because the bigger numbers have to be on the left side of the subtraction. All right, so this comparison bar basically shows us that there are 3 more plums than apples. So how many more apples does Maya need to, in order to have as many apples as plums? You should know this answer is 3. Sure, you should be able to look at this, and most of you probably saw them like, it's 3, Mr. Winkler. So I get it, but it's fun, and also it's really helpful for you to understand how to build these equations with an unknown number, with a variable. So I mean, another way to think, if we matched up apple with apple, apple with plum, how many plums would not be matched up? Well, you would know it's 9 to 9. You'd have 9 plums to 9 apples, and that would mean you'd have 3 plums left over. It's just another way to look at it. So let's look at number 1. It says a nursery has 70 rose bushes and 50 tea tree bushes. How many fewer tea tree bushes than rose bushes are at the nursery? So how many more rose bushes are there than the tea tree bushes? These are some other questions you should be thinking. How many tea tree bushes would the nursery need to have the same number of tea tree bushes as rose bushes? How many rose bushes would the nursery need to sell to have the same number of tea tree bushes or rose bush and rose bushes. If we lined up the tea tree bushes and the rose bushes so they each had a partner, which type of bush would be left over? How many leftover bushes would there be? If we lined up the tea tree bushes and the rose bushes so that each had a partner, which bush would need more so that each bush had a partner? How many more would we need? So it wants you to draw comparison bars. I think comparison bars are great because you're able to really visualize what you need. So I would just draw a bar here showing 70, and then I would draw a bar underneath it showing 50. And if we want to keep doing that oval, let's do a B for bushes and make that oval because that's the difference. So you could look at this right away and say, oh, okay, I know how to find B. I could take my bigger number, 70, minus the smaller number, 50, and it'll equal B. So you know that B from this math would equal 20, and that'd be 20 fewer tea tree bushes. Okay, let's do the next one together. Dan wants to plant 30 trees. He has dug 21 holes. How many more holes does Dan need to dig? Well, let's draw the comparison bars. He has dug 30 holes. Oh, sorry, he has 30 trees. He's dug 21 holes. Well, what are we missing here? Let's do H for holes. Well, you could easily look at it and say, oh, I can take 30 minus the 21 to equal H. H would equal 9 more holes. Okay. All right, let's turn to the next page and do some more. And then I'm going to pretty much send you on your way to work on these on your own. So Kyle and Mackenzie are playing a computer game. Kyle scored 7,628 points. Mackenzie scored 2,085 fewer points than Kyle. How many points did Mackenzie score? See, this is a little bit different because when you draw your comparison bar, your first one's going to say 7,628. But what we don't know is this bar. We don't know the P here. We know that she scored 2,085 fewer points. So think of a way that this would work out. Remember, you want these two down here to equal whatever's up here. So if you look at it, you could say, okay, I can take P and add on 2,085, and that will get me to 7,628. Okay, knowing that, you because of all the different equations you can get from these three numbers, you should know that you just take 7,628 and you would subtract 2,085, and that would equal 5,543 points. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes this next one's a little bit different. So the school fundraiser made $632 more from baked goods than from games. The school fair made $935 from games. How much money did the school fair make from the baked goods? This is pretty easy too. It just looks a little different. This is what's missing. Okay, this would be, I'm going to put an M here. That's what we don't know. We know that this is 935, and then it told us our difference, or how much more is 632. So we would be looking at 935 plus 632 equals M, and when you work your math out, you will get 1,567, or M equals 1,567, and that'd be in dollars. So I want you to continue working on the next two, and then we actually have on page 138, you will be trying to tell what type of comparison they're looking for. Are they looking for multiplication? Are they looking for addition? Are they looking for subtraction? Division. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You're only going to be looking for addition and multiplication. I apologize. So you have to tell the type of comparison. You're going to write either addition or comparison or multiplication. you're going to write that in one of these boxes. So, we have time. I'm going to do the first one for you. Okay. It says, Nick and Liz both collect marbles. Liz has 4 times as many marbles as Nick. If Nick has 240 marbles, how many marbles does Liz have? Well, we know we're working with multiplication because it said times as many. So I'm going to write multiplication on this line. And then the equation I'm looking at is actually, it says Liz has 4 times as many marbles as Nick. Nick has 240. So we're looking at 240 times 4 equals L for Liz. Okay? And from working that out, you should get the answer of L equals 960 marbles. Okay? Now remember, they're not all going to be multiplication. Some might be addition. So work on, work on this page, and then on page 140 when you get done there, and then independent work, you'll be able to hopefully finish them up.